I'm sure most of you have already heard of OpenClaw and how it's like this crazy AI agent that can control your computer and do all sorts of stuff. The only thing with OpenClaw is that there is some setup involved. You have to set it up on like a VPS, or you have to set it up on your machine, or set it up on a Mac Mini, or something like that. However, Claude have released something that is very similar to OpenClaw. It's not meant to exactly replace it, but it does do very similar things to what OpenClaw does. I think what makes it powerful is that it's very easy to set up and get going. You don't necessarily need to worry about having to install software, set things up, and go through this whole crazy setup process. With Claude Dispatch, all you need is Claude on your machine, and then you need Claude on your phone. And then you can control your computer and make it do things from your phone. I've been testing out, I've been doing a few things here and there, and it's kind of blown my mind that this even exists, because you can use it to do things that it just seems like magic. It doesn't really make any sense. It's crazy. So this is the announcement blog post that they did regarding Claude Dispatch, and it shows you sort of what it does, how it works. It shows you how to install it and stuff. They have a video here basically showing how it works. You pair it with a desktop, and then you can use it to control your desktop from your phone. What I like here is that they show an actual example of Claude Dispatch in use, where someone is trying to get their latest sort of PowerPoint presentation, export it without them actually touching their computer. They're doing it all from their phone. So I already have Claude Dispatch set up here. However, what also makes Dispatch very powerful is that it will try and access services that you've already connected before it starts trying to use your computer to do those things. So if you've connected your Gmail, if you've connected your Slack, if you've connected whatever apps and tools already to Claude, it will try and get the information from there directly without having to use the resources and tokens and stuff of actually doing things on your physical computer. So you can see here some of the connectors that I have. I have GitHub connected, ClickUp, Supabase. I haven't connected my Google Drive or Gmail. I can see that it can control Chrome, it can control my Mac, and it has Desktop Commander all set up. When you do go through the settings, you do have to make sure some of these options are ticked. So for example, keep computer awake, because then you'll be able to control Claude with your phone, even when you're not at home and your computer you haven't touched it, whatever, because you don't want your computer to go to sleep. You want computer use enabled. You want to be able to unhide apps, and you can even deny apps. So if there's any specific apps on your machine that you don't want Claude to access, you can have it not access those, which I think is very useful. So let's just say a banking app or some sort of app that has sort of sensitive information on your Mac. You don't want Claude to access it, you can deny access. And then of course you need to have accessibility and screen recording enabled as well. So Dispatch works in both co-work and in code. And you can see when you go to either of these tabs, you can see Dispatch shows up here. And when you have it all set up, it acts as just like any other sort of chat box, basically a stream of chat. And in here you can see you can do things like find a confirmation in your downloads, find a passport scan, scan the Slack for bug reports, search your repos for any error messages, whatever. It's just giving you examples of what you can do. So now I just need to open up the Claude app on my phone and head to the Dispatch tab, and we can see we can start chatting with Dispatch and getting it sort of to do whatever we want it to do. You'll need to connect it all up. It will guide you through how to connect it up. It's super simple, but we can ask it to do something like open up YouTube in Chrome and search for Olia. So we're going to ask it to do that. We can see it instantly appear on our desktop. I've just sent the message across, and we can see it's open Chrome, it's searched for Olia, and it's also found my 2 channels and told me that there's 2 channels. So not only has it just done the task that I told it to do, it's also told me what it can see and shown me what it can see. So again, this is super powerful, because now I don't have to think about, oh wait, what's actually happening on my desktop, when it actually shows me a screenshot of what it's seeing on my desktop. Okay, now I'm going to get it to do something a bit more complex. I have an app here called Eagle, and I use Eagle to sort of collect inspiration of anything that I find across the internet, screenshots, images, whatever it might be. I actually haven't tried this yet, so this will be the first time I see it. I'm going to try and get Claude to open up Eagle and then get me the first image that it sees in the Eagle app and then send it to me in Dispatch. So let's try and do that. Open up the Eagle app on my Mac and then get the first image from the web design tab and send it to me. Cool, let's see if it does that. Holy moly, it's actually got me the image, the actual export of the image. Holy, okay, I'm actually blown away. This really shows the power of what this can do, because this file I wouldn't have been able to access when I'm on the go. There's no way I would have been able to access this file in any other way because Eagle does not have an iPhone app. Knowing that it can go into my computer, open up Eagle, find the latest image from the web design folder, export that image, and then send it to me, it's just crazy because that means you can get it to do so many other things and really push its capabilities. Maybe you do want it to go into your banking information and get you a statement or something. Or maybe you want it to open up an Excel file and export it as a CSV and then send it to you. It can do all of these things without you actually having to touch your computer. So yeah, Claude Dispatch is super powerful, and I feel like there aren't very many limitations for it. If you're willing to give it access to everything on a computer, now of course, you need to be wary about what you give it access to, but if you're willing to do that and you're willing to let it control your computer, then you can do quite a few interesting things with it. I do think this is the perfect way to have a sort of OpenClaw alternative without having to go through all the setup of OpenClaw and stuff. Because if you really wanted to, you could actually just install this on a different computer. You can get a Mac Mini or just an old laptop and have it all on there so that you're limiting what it has access to and controlling it. I'd recommend playing around with it, seeing what it can do. Make sure to check out my 2 other videos I did recently about Claude. You guys seem to love the Claude videos, so I'm going to keep banging them out.